Okay, so here's a look at Lesson 10 that was presented in class on Tuesday, January 26th. Starting with our opening and learning targets, we then are moving into the model recording of the performance task, which we listened to twice and then completed the Analyze a Model Recording note catcher together for submission today. Then talked about the performance task and gave students time to make their selections. So let's go ahead and get into our opening. In the previous lesson, you wrote a literary argument essay. In this lesson, you will select primary source text to read and record as part of the end of unit assessment and performance task. Learning targets for today. I can paraphrase the key ideas and demonstrate understanding of the perspective being conveyed in the model performance task recording. I can analyze a model for characteristics of an effective performance task. Then we have a couple of documents to look at. So first are the directions for this audio museum performance task. I don't want to take all the time that I have reading the whole thing, but basically you will be selecting a text that you will then read aloud and record on Flipgrid. That will happen in class on Thursday. That is considered the end of unit assessment, is the recording of your contribution to the audio museum. Then on Friday, we will have our audio museum, which will be an opportunity for you to get on Flipgrid and view classmates' recordings. And then there is a note catcher to complete on Friday, reviewing 3 recordings specifically and answering questions based on those recordings. So we won't get to do the audio museum as they intended in the classroom, but we will be doing it on Flipgrid. So what we need to start with is today you will select a text written by a survivor of the boarding schools, and the text should mean something to you and be impactful. Then you will tomorrow begin completing the performance task recording planner, where you will write a preface for the text that introduces it and provides necessary context. You will also write a reflection that explains why the text is meaningful. And then on Thursday, you will record yourself reading your preface text and reflection aloud. You will act as the voice of its author and create space for the author's words to be shared with a broader audience. Tomorrow, we will work through this performance task recording planner so that on Thursday, you can actually do your recording, and it should be on Flipgrid before class begins on Friday so that it can be a part of our audio museum. So this will be a grade to wrap up the end of this module. We then moved into the bulk of our lesson today, which is here at Work Time A, Analyze a Model Recording. There's a slideshow there for you to flip through. You will click here to get to the recording of the model performance task. I don't have time to do that with you. Everyone was supposed to make a copy of the Analyze Model Performance Task note catcher, which looks like this, and we worked through it together. Please make sure that you listen to that model performance task so that you can understand what the expectation is and the way we worked through this note catcher. So we did identify the characteristics of an effective presentation in the model performance task. We then listened to it a second time so that we could complete the following questions. What is the context? We said that the context was that the author of this excerpt was taken from his home at age 11 and sent to an Indian boarding school, and that this is his personal experience. Who is the writer of the excerpt? His name is Luther Standing Bear, and he is a member of the Lakota tribe. What are the key ideas in the excerpt? The school made him change his name, which was one step of stripping him of his identity and culture. The goal of these schools was assimilation. His perspective, he had a negative point of view toward his experience and references being stripped of his name and therefore culture. The excerpt is meaningful because names, especially in Native American culture, have significance and are very much part of their identity. And we can learn that names are important, and using and pronouncing names correctly shows respect. You then need to